MrBeast is canceled. Doesn't that just sound weird? The biggest YouTuber in the world, a philanthropist, someone who's been working within broken systems in order to improve the lives of others for the better, canceled because he gave thousands of shoes to children in an impoverished nation. Hold on, that doesn't make sense. Let's dig a little deeper here. MrBeast canceled because he paid for the eye surgeries of 1,000 people so their blindness could be cured. And he's demonic. What? Over the past few months, there's been this wave of hatred toward MrBeast, and he hasn't been able to do anything philanthropic or charitable without a really large amount of people getting really mad about it. But why? So this all started a month ago when MrBeast uploaded a video where he paid for 1,000 people's surgeries in order to have their curable blindness fixed. It was a huge video, and it was controversial, with many people calling it demonic on Twitter. And this is the biggest tweet that spawned from this hate, saying, "It's demonic, but I can't articulate why," which, if you think about it, that's just a beautiful tweet that just sums up Twitter as a whole. I'm mad, but I don't know why. I watched the video. I thought it was pretty great. 1,000 people couldn't see, and now they can because MrBeast wanted to make a video out of it. And I think that's a good thing. But I wanted to see what my mother thought, and she is an eye surgeon. She's been an eye surgeon for 30 years. She knows about the eye, and I was very curious to see what she would think about this video. She has no idea who MrBeast was, at least prior to this video. So I sent her the video asking if she could watch it and let me know what her thoughts were. And, just her initial impressions. She called me 10 minutes later, getting like all choked up in her voice, asking me if this was a real video because it was so beautiful. And I know my mother, this is exactly the reaction I figured I would get from her, especially as an eye doctor. This is a woman who has dedicated her life to benefiting others, and that this video is what it's all about, using her words. This is a woman who has worked 3 days a week for years. At least when my family was living in Houston, there was a clinic called San Jose Clinic that she volunteered at, giving free eye exams and then also just trying to improve the lives of others that way. And now she's the biggest MrBeast fan I know. It only took this video to see the charitable work that he is doing. So with the blindness video, I figured that was going to be the end of it. That was just drama for the sake of drama. It was the internet being the internet, and we would all just move on with our lives. Cut to a few days ago with MrBeast's new video where he gave thousands of shoes to thousands of people in South Africa. And like the blindness video, I thought it was a good thing. Children who didn't have shoes now have shoes. Good. But again, people are mad. But why? One of the main arguments I'm seeing from people against MrBeast is that he is using people for his videos. He's exploiting them, that these are just acts of charity that are being done in the public light, and therefore they do not count. Which, that's a fair argument to explore. Unfortunately, there is a history to YouTubers and content creators going out of their way to make a big song and dance over the charitable moments that they are doing, or they're even faking the charity moments that they're creating. Some engaging in poverty tourism, where they just go to Africa and they're like, look how poor everyone is. Isn't that crazy? That's bad. Don't do that. So is that what MrBeast is doing? Controversy over charity in the content creator space obviously isn't new, and that's because no matter what, the content creator gets something out of it. Even if it's not monetary gain, you can get clout, subscribers, more views on your next video, brand recognition. It truly is impossible to publicly present charity and cut out any gain whatsoever. And this is a fair thing to point out with anyone doing charity, not even just MrBeast. But when you look at MrBeast's history, this is a guy who works in a very cyclical fashion. He makes a video, he gets a lot of money out of it, he takes all that money, pours it into a new video about charity, he makes money out of that, even more money because he's growing. He takes that money, puts it in a new video, that even makes more views, which makes more money, which he pours into a new video, which makes more money. You get the picture. He also has been very open about wanting to inspire others to do the same type of charity, maybe not to the level that he's doing, but to go out there and improve the lives of others, which I think he's done with great success. MrBeast is growing his brand because his brand is charity. These aren't mutually exclusive concepts. You can grow your brand while making the world a better place with charity. In fact, MrBeast has utilized this in order to make bigger and better videos every single time, and even his charity videos have gotten bigger and better every single time, helping more and more people. Let's say, for argument's sake, we completely remove the idea that MrBeast is a good person. Let's take that out of the equation. In fact, let's say that he's only doing it for clout and money, which I don't think that's the case, but argument's sake, that's what's happening, right? In this fictitious scenario. That's still a hell of a lot of good that he's putting out in the world. 1,000 people couldn't see, and now they can. Regardless of motive, that's a good thing that happened. Let's say a bunch of YouTubers are noticing that MrBeast is growing and want to copy MrBeast, the selfish jerk that he is, and I want to build my brand by putting out a whole bunch of charities and doing charity work so I can build my brand. Well, that's still a lot of people being helped. That's still a good thing that's happening. Works for me. These are real people who have had a very real improvement to their lives. And at the end of the day, that's a good thing. I think that some of the hate toward MrBeast is misdirected. That people aren't necessarily mad at MrBeast, but they're mad at the situation that exists, that requires MrBeast to want to make a video out of something in order for good to be done, right? That there is such a thing as curable blindness, that there is blindness that because they can't afford the surgery, or because of the situation in life that they happen to be in, that they cannot improve their lives in such a life-changing way. And yeah, it's kind of weird that it takes a dude in his 20s to want to make a video out of this in order to actually make such a substantial change. You're not mad at MrBeast, you're mad at the situation. You're mad that these systems are in place. MrBeast is working within the system the best he can to improve humanity, and I think he's done a good job so far. Side note, activism is not tweeting about how much you hate MrBeast. That's not activism. Trying to get him canceled. You're not really improving the world that way. You're not even changing the core system in place that you want to change by trying to cancel MrBeast. Why don't you get from behind the computer, go out there and make some real change by sending letters to your politicians, doing charity work, volunteering, rather than tweeting MrBeast bad. Focus on changing the core problem rather than attacking someone who is doing some good in the world, no matter what you think the motive is. Oh, and unrelated, but there is a small group of people who are very angry at MrBeast for a very stupid reason. They may say it's under the guise of one of the previous reasons I mentioned, but I can sum it up in just one word. You ready?